and just a little bit more back bend work because it really helps us to expand across the front body, especially the upper front body, our chest and collarbones that can get constricted with all the activities we do during the day, sort of hunched over like this. So we'll start with lying down on our bellies. Come all the way down to your belly. I'm just propping myself up in a Sphinx position so I can talk to you for a moment. You can be all the way lie face down, and you can make a little kind of pillow for your hands and put your forehead right into that pillow, or you might even use an actual small pillow. So stretching out long like this, I like to tuck one toe, push my heel back to get length in my leg, and then float that leg back down. Do the same with the other side. So this gives me a little more space in my low back. This helps me feel comfortable. Legs are at a distance apart that feels right for you. So sometimes you'll hear the cue of legs close together. That works for some people. For me, I like my feet a little bit more than hip width apart when I do my back bends. So we are going to do a gecko version of cobra. Our hands will be out to the side off the mat. Our elbows will be pointing up rather than back. And our fingers will be like spider fingers or cupcake hands, however you want to call it. Coming to face down. Fingers are about in line with your breastbone. Elbows up. Think about using your upper back, the muscles between your shoulder blades, as you start to push into the pads of your fingers. Engage, engage, engage in your upper back. Lifting up, taking your gaze maybe a little bit in front of your mat, so not way up and crunching the back of your neck, a little bit in front of your mat, and release. We'll do that a couple more times. Up, so your hands are not really doing a lot here. They can give you a little bit of stability, but we're really trying to get this lift as much as we can with those muscles in the upper back, waking them up, and release. One more time. Use those upper back muscles, wake them up, draw them together. Maybe you have a little bit more space in this last one. And then release. You can rest with your forehead down or to one side. Take a breath or two. And then we'll push back up. This time we'll come up into a standing knees like we did for like we did for gate to do camel. So from a standing knee position, we are really going to target the upper back like we did before. That's the area in this camel variation that we're going to do. So take your hands, put them on your hips, and elbows back this time. And you can even point your fingertips down as if you're going to put them in your back pockets. And oh, look, I have pockets. So that's the idea. Hands as if you're slipping into your back pockets. I'll just use my actual pockets. Elbows back. The front part of your torso, your pelvis, so right where your torso meets your legs, right in that little crease, that part is pushing forward, but you also want to feel like length in that front body there. So this is a back bend. Remember, we're going for length in the front body, length and stretch. And then begin getting longer with your spine, so long that your chest, your collarbone naturally feels like it's looking up toward the ceiling. And starting to curve in that upper back area, that same area we were just stretching on the floor. So instead of thinking about like, wow, I've got to come back there, think about you're going up toward the ceiling. A balloon is lifting you, lifting your chest, lifting you up. And maybe that motion of going up creates a little bit more of a curve in your upper back. And then exhale and release. Beautiful. So for rest, let's come down for a moment into child's pose. And child's pose is a little bit more of a rounding on the back of a forward fold. So that's a good place for us to end, is a little bit more of a chance to go internal. Spread your knees as wide as you like to create room for your body in child's pose. I like a lot of room here so that my body can comfortably move toward the floor. And since I still have this blanket around, I'm going to use it for a little bit of a supported child's. You don't have to. You can come right to the floor. I'm going to draw this between my body, allow my torso to come to rest. And if you have a pillow, a bolster, You can use that here. Sometimes I like to use it this way too, keep myself a little bit higher up. And that can feel really nice too. The idea is to find a position that feels comfortable, where you can take a few moments to rest, release your back into this soft round shape. Focus on your mindful breathing, your breath, wherever you can feel it, and then also your attention to your breath in your back body. I'm going to come to sitting up. You can stay in your child's position. If your head is turned one way in child's pose, make sure to take a few moments with it turned the other way before you finish. And as you are ready to get up out of child's pose, you might stretch your arms, walking them to one front corner of your mat and then the other. So getting one last little bit of a lateral stretch along your side body. Those are some of my favorite kind of ways to stretch the spine.